Hi, it's Dr. Hood. I want to talk about different qualities of red meat that are available and the types that you should maximize in your diet and the ones that you should minimize in your diet and why. And I want to focus on beef. And I'll go straight into the examples of what I mean. What I mean by different qualities. If you go for the poorer quality meats are your highly processed beef that's mixed with multiple fillers like starches and carbohydrates, to your sort of cured and smoked meats, to your unprocessed beef. And even within that category, the unprocessed beef, you have different qualities, the highest quality being your grass-fed, grass-finished beef, hormone-free, organic, antibiotic-free. And let's go through these different categories and understand which ones you need to prioritize and how important is it when it comes to the better quality meats to prioritize the highest qualities. How important is that? First of all, to remind you, the reason I'm talking about that, if you include animal protein in most of what you eat, then that is an important and a sure way for you to take control of your health, in where you can lose weight, you can get lean, get fit, and also at the same time optimize your health and thrive. You can lose weight without optimizing your health. That's one way to do it. It's your choice. But if you want to optimize your health and in partnership with losing weight and getting lean, then eating meat, particularly eating red meat, is an important component of that. So let's think about the different types of beef that I mentioned earlier and which ones you should prioritize, which ones you should minimize. The ones you should minimize are your very cheap sausages and burgers that have 40 to 60% beef that are mixed with other fillers like starch, flour, sugar, processed vegetable oils. Often the beef itself is of poor quality, low protein, the worst cuts of meat mixed with high levels of collagen. Collagen itself isn't bad to have in your diet, but you don't want to get it from cheap burgers that have other additives mixed to them, are going to stimulate insulin and not going to give you the nutrients that you want. So you want to minimize those completely if possible. If you are going to have burgers and sausages, have ones that are sort of 90% plus meat and only have a few additives to them. Better yet, 100% beef burgers. That's the best type of burgers. That if you are going to have burgers, have them bunless. Don't have the bread. Don't have ketchup if possible. So the next level up are your sort of cured meats. So the worst ones are probably the ones that are cured with chemicals, some of which have some side effects to them. But then you have naturally smoked and organic smoked and cured meats are probably better than those treated with chemicals, and often that's reflected in the price. But those aren't as good as your whole unprocessed meats. Now, a quick word about the processed meats, first of all, is that the links between these cured meats and cancer are exaggerated and taken out of context. So the evidence suggests that if you eat these processed meats on a daily basis, the figures are your risk of cancer is increased by 20%. But in reality, it's more like you have to take that figure into context. So your lifetime risk of developing colorectal cancer is 5%. If you eat processed meat on a daily basis, that increases to 6%. So it's not a massive jump. And even then, the evidence is based on correlative studies where people who are eating processed meat every day also exhibit other unhealthy behaviors like high levels of smoking, sugar, poor levels of exercise, nutrient poor diet. So it has to be taken into context. You don't want to eat it every day, but you don't need to cut it out completely, because it's better for you than, let's say, for example, a high sugar, candy or cereal, that kind of thing. Those are going to cause you more damage than your sort of protein-rich, slightly cured or slightly smoked beef. So anyway, the next level up is your whole unprocessed beef. And even within that, there are different levels. Most of what you eat should be unprocessed whole red meat that you prepare yourself, whether it's ground beef, whether it's steak, for example, burgers. That's what you need to prioritize and maximize in your diet, along with non-starchy vegetables, along with some other healthy fats, along with minimizing carbohydrates. But within that category, there are different qualities of meat. So at the top end is your grass-fed, grass-finished, organic, antibiotic-free, hormone-free beef. And at the bottom end of this group is your industrially farmed beef, which in the worst cases is pumped full of antibiotics, hormones, and it involves cows that eat just grains, sometimes even candy and other byproducts of other food production for most of their life. And this reflects in the quality of the meat. So the cows that are fed grass and are organically raised and pasture raised for most of their life have higher levels of omega-3 fatty acids and lower levels of omega-6, have a high omega-3 to omega-6 ratio. That reduces inflammation. And also high levels of CLA, which is conjugated linolenic acid, which may have anti-cancer and anti-inflammatory properties. And also this meat is more nutrient rich, high levels of vitamin B, vitamin E, and other antioxidants. So in an ideal world, you'd want to eat grass-fed, grass-finished, organic, chemical-free beef for most of your diet. However, for most people, A, it's not accessible on a daily basis, and B, it's quite expensive. So even if you're in the category where most of your food is just whole unprocessed meat, even if it is factory raised, you're still at a head start to somebody who's eating grains or rice or potatoes for most of their diet, who eats a lot of starchy vegetables, who doesn't eat much meat, who eats a lot of carbohydrates. You eating whole unprocessed meat, you're at an advantage already compared to that person. So you don't need to worry too much about the detail when you first start off. And if you think about it, even if you do have the money, grass-fed, grass-finished organic beef isn't easily available in the supermarket, so you can't grab it quickly, prepare your evening meal, prepare your packed lunch for the next few days, store it very easily. You just need to get whatever's best quality is available to you that you can afford, that you have easy access to. As long as you're prioritizing the whole unprocessed meats compared to the processed meats, and then making sure to completely cut out the sort of 40%, 60% meat, beef sausages and beef burgers, then you are in a good position and you're maximizing the more nutrient-dense foods for most of what you eat. That's how you correct your metabolism. That's how you nourish your body. That's how you burn fat, get fit, and get lean.